My lord, what in the green hell is going on here?
We got Lacabra on pole position with Mullet in P2, Gran Turismo in P3, Lice Rat, and away we go. Oh, it looks like already in the background a bit of commotion.
Will he be able to show that he has some tricks up his sleeve coming across the line with a 149.11? Purple Nurple is out of the pits on the hards, as is Jay. Will he be able to take a podium off of him? Oh, he's past Jay, who's still in the pits. This is going to be very interesting, folks. And Popeye's in the lead. Oh, Salamander is coming.
Around the corner, so away we go, and of course driver's getting away nicely as Sneak is the first one to go into this turn now. Look at that, that is a beautiful shot as he just slightly clips the wall on the outside there.
Jump back on the softs and try and have a strong finish. Oh, did CBD driver just get some air?
But maybe that mistake has cost him the race win as we go into the braking zone for the very last time. And
Sean's out of fuel.
Jules, is he out of fuel?
It looks like it. Yeah, Sean's out.
Wow, he's out of fuel, guys. He's out of fuel. Will Wicko take the race win? No.
He just...
This race now really turning on its head, as you can see. Spawn really struggling there. We've got Slipstream just in front of Sneaky at the moment. There's literally nowhere for Sneaky to go at this point. The time is moving. Oh, you can see him wiggling all over the track at the moment.
Thank you for that second position, and looks like he's going to work to get the door closed if he can.
As they go too wide over the jump.
Holy cow! Oh, one man got buried.
If it doesn't come, those things are going to get eaten up quick.
They're going to
lose a lot of time as Gran Turismo goes off the track and there's contact.
Oh, and contact.
Oh, Mullet will know here that he really needs to hold these off as much as possible. And Sneaky goes up the outside, around the outside, should I say, of Mullet. Mullet just parking his car in front of Moose. Slipstream. This is really hurting Slipstream right now because Slipstream is in P4. And look at Sneaky. Sneaky just accelerating away now. Oh, big contact between Slipstream, Moose, and onto Mullet as well. P2 as well of MD Hopper. Maybe go for a bowl move, but there's MD Hopper swerving from left to right, really not giving Mullet a chance to get through. There's a slight bit of contact as well as we go through the braking zone. Mullet too deep on the brakes into the wall. Yeah, slides, maybe got on the brakes a little bit too late. Slides into the barrier. And he's got big damage now. Big damage, surely. He goes sideways. Oh! Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the opening qualifying ahead of a brand new season of the NRL. Yes, this is season 4, and boy, have we been waiting in anticipation to get this show on the road. With Friday qualifying already decided, it's now turn of the Saturday drivers to be put through their paces, deciding which division they'll be placed, as well as who will be ultimately eliminated. For those of you that missed last night's Friday heats, we will give you a brief explanation on the new format for Season 4 and also how the drivers fared last night very shortly. But first up, introducing myself, my name is Floor Genius Gaming, which can be found floating around the interwebs of Twitch. I'll be taking you through the next 5 weeks on a Saturday to determine who will be crowned champion of Season 4. But surely I won't be able to do this by myself, you say? Well, luckily for me, I have 2 awesome commentators on the panel to help throughout this season. The first of which, sitting to my right, an NRL original. He has been here from the very start, has witnessed all the champions that have come and gone before us. I certainly will need his expertise alongside me. He is the one and only T-Case, also known as T-Case 101 on YouTube. Welcome, how have you been? And after watching yesterday, I'm sure you must be very excited.
Oh, yes, I am, Flood. It is great to be back. I am doing great. Fourth season with NRL, and I am absolutely loving it. Last night was incredible. It was so close. Both divisions super tight. I mean, it was coming down to the 1,000th of a second. Cannot wait to see how tight it is again today. It is great to be alongside you again, my friend. And I'm super excited about our newest member of the crew. And I'll go ahead and let you introduce them.
Well, yes, sir. Speaking about the other member of the crew, sitting to my left, making their debut in the NRL, bringing the glitz and the glamour to our team, is someone that is no stranger to the ranks of GT7. They race for the Sector 7 racing team, so he's definitely no slouch, and pretty sure he's no slouch in addressing their opinions on all concerned across the grid. Let's give it up for Tatty, aka E Dirty Tatty on Twitch. Welcome to the NRL, and how you feeling?
Hey, Flawed. I'm feeling great today. I'm super excited, not only for qualifying, but yes, this is my first season with the NRL ever. I have checked out the format of previous seasons. I love it. I can't wait to see the variety of track combos and who shines on what combo. I think that this is probably my favorite format of League, actually, because it gives everyone a chance to shine. So very happy to be here, happy to have been chosen, and I'm looking forward to what's next.
Yeah, definitely happy to have you alongside us. And yes, with all the introductions said and done, for those that didn't see Friday's broadcast, beautifully hosted by the awesome trio of Toon, Leo and Slow-Mo, let's explain this season's format. So this season, we are overflowed with drivers with a record total of 67 drivers ready to compete across both Friday and Saturday. So we've decided to allow the drivers to qualify from 3 splits per day, with the fastest 56 times in qualifying going through to the next stage. Those that are good at maths will realise there are 11 drivers set to miss the cut and be sent packing with just a bus fare home and their tails between their legs. However, they will receive a refund of their admission fee, so not all is lost. Then we are left with 28 drivers on each day to be split into 2 camps. From next week, the fastest 14 will be competing in Division A, with the next 14 competing in Division B. The format will change to a league system consisting of 3 rounds under the F1 points system. The drivers will need to accumulate the most points possible. Come the end of round 3, the standings of both Friday and Saturday will merge together for each division respectfully, and the top 14 drivers with the most points will book their place to the grand finale to be held on Saturday the 9th of November. There will be no qualifying before the final race. Grid order will be determined by their league standings. Also worth mentioning, the top 7 from Division A and top 5 from Division B will receive prize money for their successes, with all admission fees and donations from the kind community of the NRL added to the prize pot. Because of the amazing individuals from YouTube, nearly $1,300 was raised for the prize pot for Season 3. Let's see if we can beat that for Season 4. And I can tell you that the winner from last season received a handsome $140. Not bad for a $10 admission fee. A huge cut of the prize pot naturally goes to the drivers, but with a big team working behind the scenes, whether it's production, stewards, testers, or the hosts like us, we do take a small cut. Without them, though, this broadcast wouldn't be possible. We have just received a donation, as we talk about donations, from Racer 51, the $10 Canadian donation there, with Dakara Spawn Black with £20 donation, saying welcome back NRL. Good luck to all, and thank you to the commentators. You're all doing a great job. Thank you very much for the sheer kindness. It is very much appreciated. going forward to this season, I was going to say, please consider donating to the prize pot. Only if you're enjoying season 4 and you can afford to do so. For the males out there that may be in long-term relationships or happily married with their partners probably holding tightly to their bank accounts, please get permission or don't get caught. We won't be held accountable for any breakups or divorces in the foreseeable future. If you can't afford to, it's completely fine though. There's lots of ways to support for free by sticking around and engaging with the great community we have here, hitting the thumbs up on the video, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button. From the bottom of our hearts at NRL, we love you and hugely appreciate each and every one of you. Right, so with that said, we do need to give you a quick recap on Friday's qualifying results. Before I hand you over to TK's, I just need to address the situation regarding the devastation left from the storms sweeping across America right now. We are well aware that due to the difficulties, some drivers were not able to compete last night, and it could be the same for today. Dependent on how soon their power situation is restored, there might be a separate qualifying lobby made off stream, and the results that you see today could change in the near future. It's a little bit out of our hands right now, and we can only give you the information that presents us, so please be aware of that. TK, can you reveal provisionally the top 14 drivers going into Friday's Division A, please?
Absolutely, and these are the quickest drivers from yesterday, and we only had one crack into the 128s, and that is Wid with a 128.815, incredibly fast time. Followed by Ando with a 129.347. Then in P3, we have PDX Varial with a 129.646. P4, the True Serum, a 129.775. Very tight right there. And then again, another 129 driver with PHG Shaggy Dew with a 129.833. Then we get into the 130s, which seem to be the dominant time that we saw yesterday, and that's Chief Apollo, so close to the 129s with a 130.009, followed by BHR Pelias Pango with a 130.048. Then in P8 we have Velvet Thunder with a 130.1. Then we have Talon in P9 with a 130.166, followed by MK in P10 with a 130.213. Then very, very closely behind them, we have Purple Perp with a 130.215, RWB Nav with a 130.403, Darken Azrael with a 130.427, and then finishing up our top 14 drivers, we have Thumpy, PHG Thumpy with a 130.449.
Thank you, TK. And yeah, very, very tight and close times, particularly in Division A. So, Tassie, can you run us through the Division B drivers, please?
Absolutely. It was good to hear 3 of the top 5 drivers are actually my teammates. Come on, Sector 7, we see it. So for Friday, Division B, we are starting out in 15th place with Redneck C137 with a 130.4. You'll notice that's not that far off from the very bottom of Division A. Then we have Luis with a 130.472, Deputy Fishtail with a 130.571, PSG Papa with a 130.598, Rowdy Rooster with a 130.606, and then in 20th place, RWB Buck Wild, I know that guy, with a 130.647. Those top 5 divided by 2/10, that's crazy. PSG Salamander in 21st with the 130.688. PSG Bell with a 130.799. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Racer 51 with a 130.858. Stumpy, a 130.968. And Sugar Shuffles come through the 130.969. Our bottom 3 are opening in the 131s. We've got PHG Fenrir with a 131.264. PHG Skellington with a 131.687, and it's all rounded out by Beef Castle with a 131.755.
Thank you, Tati. And yeah, ridiculously close between the other 14 drivers going into Division B. I do have a few donations to read out in William Lyons with a $10 donation saying, good luck, have fun, everyone. We have got a $20 donation from Buddy Lee. Season 4, let's go. And the Truth Serum with a $14 Canadian donation there. Thank you so much for all the sheer kindness from each and every one of you. It really, really goes a long way for everyone involved in the NRL. So that means the only thing left to do then is take you through into the first of 3 splits for tonight. So we are off to sunny California on the west coast of America for the visit of Laguna Seca. Track length is 2.2 miles with a total of 11 turns, and there will be a 15-minute qualifying using the Mazda touring car. This car provides 205 brake horsepower. Going to its rear wheels with a lightweight design can be a little tricky for the drivers to control through the corners, but luckily they will get to use the racing soft tyres. Drivers will need to be fully compliant with the BOP ruling, with the car fully set to stock. No setups are allowed, and we'll need to keep it on track with mechanical damage set to heavy. There is a ×3 tyre wear and ×3 fuel consumption throughout this qualifying session, with lots of time allowed to set their golden laps. Best of luck to the drivers. As mentioned, this is a qualifying round, so there is no race today. So no points given in this round. Top 14 fastest will qualify for Division A. Next 14 will qualify for Division B. The rest, unfortunately, will be eliminated. So on to the driver lineup for Split 1. We've got Arrow US, Angry Fredbird, Sweet Lucanus, PHG Banana, PHG SPC, Cyrus Nicky _GT, R Miller, MMR Moose 21, MMR Super Uber, GLK Sneaky, and Parquet. Now, many of the drivers will be streaming on either YouTube or Twitch, so if you want their perspective, go and say hi and support the respective channels. I need to fire a question to TK. So with the drivers using the Mazda touring cars, what are your experience with these type of cars?
Well, Flood, a lot of people might already know that this is my favorite car in the game, and maybe in real life as well. I think it is an excellent car to really hone in and master your racecraft. It's all about carrying speed. They don't have a lot of power, so you really have to maximize every bit of the track, and especially at a track like this where we have a lot of uphill after turns, you really got to carry that speed as much as possible to get up those hills as quickly as possible.
Yes, indeed, TK. It's certainly true of these cars. Very, very tricky indeed. Tati, of course, you being an experienced driver, if you was competing out there, what would be your mindset going into this qualifying session?
My mindset would be, well, it's what TK said. Part of it is making sure I keep momentum in this car. It doesn't make very much power, but I'm with him. I think it's possibly the best car in the game and has been since GT Sport. I think a lot of people would agree with me. But yes, carrying speed, carrying momentum, and paying attention to my braking. I tried out the car in these settings, in these conditions, and on the racing softs, it's incredibly tail happy under the brakes. Nice if you know how to control it and can get it steered in towards the apex. It'll kind of do it for you, actually, if you lean on it just right. But you can easily get it wrong end up spinning that rear around. Even if it's just a little bit of a slide, it's going to mess up your momentum going up those hills, like TK said. So keeping momentum, keeping the rear end under me, and just putting my head down and getting those times done.
Yep, some fantastic advice there from Tati and TKs as well. And the drivers just getting their final preparations ready for split one. So we will be cutting to them very, very shortly. And there we go. Yeah, drivers just coming out of the pits now ahead of this 15-minute qualifying session at Laguna Seca. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers get on compared to how the drivers got on Friday night. It was believed that a guy called Wid got the fastest lap time of a 1 minute 28.815 with a few drivers in the 1 minute 29s, and I would say the majority of the drivers getting 1 minute 30s. As we ride on board with Arrow US, he is a free agent, so not assigned to any team, and he uses the Logitech G Pro wheel. And he's also on YouTube under at Arrow GT7. We'll see how Arrow gets on in this championship. Of course, was ever present in season 3. So we may, since he is the guy at the front of the field, may get to talk you through a lap around Laguna Seca. Tati, do you want to talk us through a lap at Laguna Seca?
We're coming into turn 11 now. That's the final turn. And you got to get out of there just right. Go up the hill here towards the first corner. I believe it's called Andretti, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually a double apex here. Easy on the brakes, turning towards that first apex. Some people choose to miss it and take only the second one. Patient on the gas here, out as straight as you possibly can. Then you brake at the second brake marker, maybe a little after it, and watch your rotation here to late apex into turn 3. Short straight towards turn 4. And this you might just get away with just a lift. Yep, sure enough, doesn't have to get on the brakes at all. Careful on that exit there. Then it's a nice high speed straight towards turn 5. This is one of those corners where you do want to keep your momentum. Late apex here just to straighten that car out as much as possible for this uphill here. Turn 6 is tough, but you can get it right, get it fast. Miss that sausage curve on the inside there. That is perfect by Arrow, keeping it nice and neat and keeping that momentum up the hill towards the most famous corner here, the corkscrew. I believe these are turns 7 and 8. Lots of elevation change, lots of off-camberness there. That is the part of the track that you're going to mess up if you're going to mess up anything. Down towards turn 10, it is mostly full throttle and then a quick flick to the right here for turn, I'm sorry, that was turn 9. This is turn 10 here. Hard on the brakes into turn 11. It is a hairpin. You want to be careful. Don't miss that apex. Use as much of the track on the outside as you want, and Arrow has done that perfectly, and he's about to cross the line for his first flyer.
Thank you, Tati. That was brilliantly explained there. Yes, Arrow comes across the line with a 1 minute 31.1. We have also got Moose just behind, who manages to set an early provisional pole there with a 1 minute 29.663. So already making an imprint into this qualifying session. We are on board with MMR Super Uber, who I know very, very well, you know, in GT7, a regular in one of my streams. Uber, very, very fast driver. On his opening, in fact, it's his second lap, so just warming up the tyres right now. Current fastest 1 minute 34.1, as quite a number of drivers are setting their laps at the moment. Super Uber is part of the Moose Mafia Racing team. He drives with a Logitech G29 wheel, and if you do want to find him, he's on YouTube at TCV Uber Beast 9687. So currently finds himself at the back of the grid in P10, but I'm sure he's going to go faster on this lap as he is half a second up on his previous best through sector 2. So with just 2 corners to go, if he can get the perfect line through the corners and onto the final corner, surely he's going to move up the grid. Moose 21 just going a little bit faster, so 1 minute 29.662, and Uber does improve his lap time by 3.8 seconds up into P4 with that 1 minute 30.3. So yes, looking at the provisional pole sitter, you can see Moose is getting quicker and quicker per lap. Current fastest time is a 1 minute 29.662. He's already 3 tenths up on sector 1. And just looking looking at his card right now, he is of course the founder of the Moose Mafia racing team. He uses the Logitech G923 wheel, and you can find him on the Twitch, Moose21. I'm sure he'll be streaming right now, so go and check him out if you haven't already done so. But as he exited the corkscrew there, he is now 7 tenths up through split 2. That is unbelievable. Will he be setting a 28 lap time? I don't want to put pressure on him, but he's just about to go through the final corner now. Can he do it? I wonder.
I think he's got it.
I think he does.
Oh, 29
so
flat,
close.
very close.
I was about to say he wasn't going to fall under the commentator's curse that we were seeing last night, but it looks like us talking about him just kept him out of that 28s. But I think he has plenty of time to do another lap around it.
He does.
Yeah.
He can. That car is getting lighter, and it's not too bad on the soft. I think the 3rd and 4th flyers are probably your best chance, and he should have time to pit and take fresh tires, yeah, after this lap maybe?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you definitely can. You definitely can. I've seen drivers go 7 laps and then pit, no fuel, put fresh tires on, and then they get 1 or 2 flyers at the end. Is an option to do. One of the things we saw last night too was with the heavy damage and the penalty system, we might see some drivers, PHG Banana in the pits right now, have to hop back to the pits, not necessarily for tires or fuel, but to get rid of that damage or to clear the penalty away if you reset to the pit.
Yeah, indeed. And yeah, we're just on board with GLK Sneaky. He was ever present in season 3, and in fact, he got the last step on the podium, P3 in the Division A final, looking to do 2 better, maybe crowned champion by the end of this season, who knows. But he's just literally coming around the final corner now. Fastest lap time is a 1 minute 30.105 for him. Can he get into the 29s? Yes, he can. 29.889 puts himself into P3. And also one thing to mention as well, I forgot to mention this actually, so the current champion in I'm Mullet, in fact back-to-back champion in the NRL, is not present in this season, and season 1 champion was Hawko, also not present in this season's NRL. So we could see, or we will see, a new champion for season 4, TKs.
Absolutely, and that's really exciting to see all these new drivers come in. It's great to have the returning drivers, but the way this league has grown each season, more and more people getting involved and participating. I know it's a great way to improve your driving skills. The amount of practice everyone has been putting in, just lap after lap, practicing every day, really does improve your racecraft overall. So a lot of these drivers who have done it before have just gotten so much better since they started in the league.
Yeah, improvements are always good to see. We are actually on board with, I do believe, a new driver in the NRL. We're currently on board with Parquet. Currently holds P8. His fastest lap time so far is a 1 minute 31.635. Just going around the final corner. Can he improve on his previous best? Not quite, unfortunately. So we'll see how he gets on there. We have got roughly 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, so it's flying by very, very quickly. We're on board with Sweet Lou Sanus, who is currently in P9. Fastest lap time is a 1 minute 31.717. Can he improve on this lap and propel himself up the grid? Yes, he can, by 1.5 tenths, 1 minute 31.551. If you just information on this driver, so he's a free agent and he's currently using a Logitech G Pro wheel, which I know is an absolute fantastic wheel to use. One of the new additions to the direct drive wheels out there. But yeah, with 5 minutes to go in qualifying, can you envisage any changes in the grid order, Tassie? As we've just seen a replay of Angry Fredbird.
That is a huge penalty. We did just miss the replay, but clearly ended up in the wall somehow there. And I guess staying off the track in case other cars are coming. Going to pit in and fix that damage, get some fresh tires, and go back out there. There is still a little bit of time left. He could get an outlap and a flyer, I believe. As far as changes in the grid order, yes, because people are pitting, people are jumping on the fresh tires. They'll have lighter cars. I can see 1 or 2 positions changing for sure. But I mean, Moose is up there. He's only got 3 tenths on Super Uber. So, Super pulls something out, finds something in a couple of corners. He's in there.
That's what I was about to. Super just put fresh tires on a lap later than Moose did. So going to have a interesting process of warming these tires up with the new physics that came not too long ago. Your outlap is so much more important. Taking care of those tires, making sure they're at the right temperature before you do the flyer. I've been seeing some drivers doing 2 outlaps before they really do a push versus 1 outlap. So I think there's a real possibility for Supa, Banana, or Sneaky really to have a go at Moose.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, Moose did grab P4 in last season's Division A final. So knowing Moose, I know that he'll be super competitive going into this season, and certainly showing us what he's made of, because yes, he is the fastest man on the track right now with that 1 minute 29.016. And I do believe, speaking to Moose before, that he has actually got a 28 in him, and as you can see through sector 1, he is just over a tenth quicker, so well on course to smash that 1 minute 29.0. In fact, I'm looking at the wrong driver there, because that is Super Uber in the pink Barbie car. In fact, he's gone purple through sector 1. We do know that Super Uber is a super competitive driver, hence Super Uber. So just going through the corkscrew, takes it nice and cleanly, flicks it over to the left hand side with 2 corners remaining. We'll see if he can improve and potentially overtake Moose at the top of the leaderboards. Nice exit. Nice exit, and he's looking good, but not. Oh, he lost a bit of time.
I wonder where he lost.
It's so easy to lose time in that final sector, even if it feels like you hit the corkscrew just right. Coming out of it, carrying the speed in the downhill, and taking the right line through the left-hander is so tricky to do. When I was doing some laps in some of the practice lobbies, I would be going purple in the first sector, and then somewhere in the second and third sector, going up the hills and then into the corkscrew. It's so easy to just lose a few tenths right there.
It is. I will say he didn't take the optimal line through Ray Hall Straight. Not that matters so much, but I mean, obviously you don't want to make that straight longer than it has to be. And he dipped a right wheel into the dust going into the corkscrew. It didn't seem to mess up his line, but I wonder if he maybe backed off it a little bit to make sure he saved the car.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
well-
Super Uba just spun out right there in the Ray Hall straight MP2. So that is ending that lap, and they had to jump back to the pits.
Yeah,
Moose
and
was
that'll
about
be
to fine, but he got a 140, so he must have had a big mistake in that last lap.
yeah, and that'll be the end of qualifying for Uber. But I would imagine with the time that he's set, should be quite safe. Going into I can't even get my words out. Qualifying into the next round there. Yeah, just judging on the times that we saw from Friday and what I'm kind of expecting, it does look like Moose, Uber, Banana, Sneaky, and quite a few others looking pretty set to qualify for Division A, as we just see a replay of Moose spinning out in the background there. Perhaps that is a victory pose from Moose, who knows? But yeah, we're just on board with PHG Banana, then currently in P3 with a very impressive time of a 1 minute 29.5. So we'll see if he can improve on his previous best, but certainly looking good. There's quite a number of drivers that are in the pits right now, perhaps satisfied with their qualifying time, but we will round up all the qualifying results at the end of this session as GLK Sneaky improves to a 1 minute 29.5 flat. Banana coming around the final corner now. Can he improve on his personal best time?
Camera angle, but I think he was a little sideways in the corkscrew.
No, unfortunate for him. Will remain in P3, but not too shabby indeed for him. So it does look like many of the drivers have put in their final lap times. I can't see anybody else that can potentially set another time. So it does look like qualifying has ended here in split 1, and we will just wait until we can actually confirm the classified qualifying results from split 1.
P1 through P4, under half a second separating those 4 drivers. That is incredible. That is really, really tight stuff. And this is just the first split of the day. We got 2 more coming. So I'm so excited to see how many more drivers are we going to get in those 129s. Are we going to see more 128s? It's going to be close.
Yes, indeed. And we do know from Friday that the cross-off point from the bottom of Division A to the top of Division B was around the 1 minute 30.4s. So I wonder if there will be a similar pattern going into these Saturday splits. But yeah, certainly this first split of the day, absolute phenomenal lap times that we've seen. So we're hoping for more of the same in split 2 and 3, I think, Tati.
Obviously, these guys are racing on Saturday, so they can't nudge anyone out of their spot for Friday. But there would have been a lot of nudging if these were mixed qualies, for sure. We have 2 more splits to go, though, so this isn't all of it, but 4 129s in just this first split tells you all you need to know.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, just to give you the classified qualifying results from split 1 then. So Moose gets that pole position with that 1 minute 29.016, 3 tenths ahead of Super Uber, who claims P2 with a 1 minute 29.314. Then Banana gets P3 for PHG, 1 minute 29.485 for him, with GLK Sneaky just 15 1,000th of a second separating Banana to Sneaky in P4 with that 1 minute 29.5 flat. Then we've got SPC in P5 with that 1 minute 30.111. Arrow US in P6 with 1 minute 30.550. P7 goes to Cyrus Nicky with a 1 minute 30.884. Then P8 goes to Parquet with a 1 minute 31.487. P9 went to Sweet Lucanus with a 1 minute 31.551. And then rounding up the grid is Angry Fredbird in P10, 1 minute 31.724. So
I'm seeing something here in the chat.
Yep.
Are they saying PHG Banana is in fact Wicco? Very interesting. There's been a lot of speculation on who PHG Banana is, and Wicco is somebody who has participated here in the NRL.
Well, of course, you know PHG very well, TK. So if it's secret information that you didn't even know about, then if you don't know, then I won't know about this. But
that's very, very interesting. He's been around, and Wicco was someone who did participate in previous seasons. It's good to have them back then.
Well, just looking at chat, it is confirmed from Banana himself that it is Wicco. So it's a good investigation from you there, TKs.
Right.
But yeah, your thoughts from Split 1, TKs, on what you've just witnessed?
Fast drivers. Very, very fast drivers. These Saturday splits are going to be very, very competitive. I love what I saw. Looked very clean out there too. I didn't see too many offs. You know, we had a couple spins there at the end as the drivers were really trying to push it. But overall, everybody kept it clean. Everybody gave everybody space to run their laps, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Yes, indeed. And also as well, Tassie, what was your thoughts from the very first split you've seen from NRL?
Caliber of driver for sure. I mean, I think I spoke to the difficulty of keeping the back end of that car up under you on this track in particular and on these tires. And most of the onboards showed some real control of the vehicle. I mean, the times tell you everything you need to know. We had 5 drivers in the 129s last night altogether, and we have just had 4 129s in just the first split of 3 tonight. So I'm looking forward to more speed. This it sounds like Saturday night racing might be where it's at. I'm glad to be commentating on the Saturday team, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you could well be right there. Let's hope this is the place to be. But yeah, split 1 is completed. So we are going to take a short break. So go and relax and grab yourself a snack. We'll be back very shortly for split 2 of Saturday. Back soon. Well, welcome back, everyone. We are one split down with 2 to go. Drivers are just getting their final preparations ready for split 2. A very fast and frantic split 1. And for what you just witnessed in split 1, TK, what are your thoughts ahead for split 2?
Well, we saw a bunch of drivers we've seen before in split 1. Some of them surprised us and some of them did exactly what we thought they were going to do. But as we look forward to split 2, it's a lot of unknowns. We only have one returning driver from the NRL in split 2. So we're, it's anybody's game. We could have some people really surprise us, and I can't wait to see it.
Do you think, Tassie, more of the same in split 2?
Definitely more of the same based on our conversation. I don't know a lot of the drivers in split 2, but I will say that last night when I was looking for lobbies, Boku had one open for hours. So that person's been practicing for sure.
Yes, I can imagine with a prize money on offer for this season. I know that the drivers will be taking this very, very seriously. So for those that missed split 1, we'll take you through the details of qualifying for today. So we're in split 2 now of 3, and we are back at sunny California for the visit of Laguna Seca. Track length is 2.2 miles with a total of 11 turns with a 15-minute qualifying session using the Mazda touring car. This is a pretty nippy car, 205 brake horsepower going to its rear wheels and a lightweight design. It can be very tricky for the drivers to control, but luckily they do get to use the racing soft tyres. The drivers will need to be fully compliant on the BOP ruling with the car fully set to stock. No setups are allowed, and they will need to keep it on track because damage is set to heavy, and there is a ×3 tyre wear and ×3 fuel consumption throughout this qualifying session. Best of luck to the drivers. Now, of course, this is a qualifying round, so there is no race today and no points given in this round. Top 14 fastest will qualify for Division A. Next 14 will qualify for Division B. The rest will be eliminated. So, TK, can you read us through the drivers going into split 2, please?
Absolutely. We have our only returning driver of the NRL in split 2 with MD Hop. Then we have P. Rosal, Bart, RSR Zilla, Lisa Slater's 420, Salis the Kai, PHG Lead Pencil, GI Baku, Belmore, and Racecraft 01. And these are their YouTubes. You can go check them out. I'm sure a lot of them are streaming. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but then be sure you come back over to us. And here you will see their Twitch. A lot of them doing both Twitch and YouTube. So go check them out, give them some support, check out their perspective on this whole setup.
Thank you, T-Case. So, the lobby just about to get underway. And, certainly am looking forward to this one. I wonder if we have any drivers that will be able to breach the 1 minute 28 region. There is a few drivers that I do recognise through the grid. But many of the drivers, I think, new to NRL, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they perform today. So we're just about to get into the qualifying session, and the drivers will be coming out of the pit lane.
Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
Some chat about Lisa Salters indicating that he is very fast. So looking forward to see what comes out of these drivers this split.
Absolutely. I was actually in a couple of practice lobbies with Lisa, and they were always at the top. I don't know if I saw a 28, but I definitely saw plenty of 29s out of them with the lobbies that I was in. So I think we'll see some really quick times here as we get some drivers getting out of the way, trying to free up some space coming out of the pits.
Yes, and speaking of Lisa Salters, we're just on board with Lisa right now. Not currently part of a team, so he's a free agent, but he's using that Fanatec DD Pro Direct drive wheel. And if Lisa is streaming right now, you can catch her on YouTube at Lisa Salters 420. The car's looking quite close on this outlap, so hopefully the drivers will space out a little bit. There is 15 minutes to get through this qualifying session, so plenty of time to set their lap times. So hopefully no complications as we end the outlap. Maybe Lisa has just heard me there, because just backing off in the penultimate corner there. But a little bit of traffic behind, so Famora actually diving past Kai. So we're going to stay with Lisa for the first hot lap of qualifying. So we'll take you through a lap at Laguna Seca. So just coming through the double apex left-hand corner, takes it beautifully as we approach turn 3. So it's a little break down into third gear, and nicely taken there. She rides the curb on the left-hand side, quick flick over to the right, avoiding the sausage on the right-hand side. And then, coming up to turn 5, it's this medium speed corner, third gear. Don't run too wide on the exit because there is sand awaiting you. And as we come up to turn 6, a little flick to the left, avoid the sausage on the left-hand side. Takes it beautifully again, up the hill and approaching the famous corkscrew for turn 7 and 8. Beautifully.
You can see they are gaining on lead pencil ahead, so putting in a quicker time for sure.
Yes, indeed. And 2 corners to go for Lisa. It's a little bit squirrely and a little bit wide on the exit. That is going to cost Lisa time. And as we come through the final corner, we'll see what time she can produce. Certainly going to be quicker than lead pencil. So coming across the line, Lisa Salters with a 1 minute 29.2, so a very good banker lap there for Lisa. Kai 2.5 tenths down on Lisa in P2. We got Felmora in P3, Lead Pencil in P4, and Racecraft in P5. And as we look on board with Boku, who currently holds P6, he's currently got a time of a 1 minute 31.398. Now he is part of the Goat Instinct team, and he's actually using a controller, so controller hacks right there. If you do want to check him out, he's on YouTube at Boku5837. So
it is good to see a variety of people on wheels and controllers. There's this misconception that you have to have a wheel to be fast, and that just simply isn't true. We have so many quick people on the controller here, and it's good to see, because that really just makes this game even more accessible. It's probably one of the most accessible racing games as far as affordability, and you don't even need a wheel. You can just use your controller and still have a great time and be competitive.
There have been Gran Turismo World Cup competitors who drive on controller. Of course, for the tournament, I believe they had to switch to a wheel for that, which is, I mean, it just speaks to the caliber of driver, because I know it took me a solid 6 months to get used to a wheel when I switched. They say it's supposed to take 90 days, but I'm like, yeah, that's for the fast people. For the rest of us,
it's a big adjustment.
It is.
Well, just looking at Baku there, he just moved himself up into P3 with that 1 minute 29.6. I have heard rumours that Racecraft is a very, very fast driver in himself. He's currently in P6 with the fastest time for him, a 1 minute 31.130. He is also part of the team Go Instinct and on controller as well. So Go the controller massive. But yeah, he's also on YouTube at Racecraft01 if you do want to go and check him out. One name I have just seen as well on the leaderboards is MD Hop. Now, TK, so I don't know if you remember his antics between him and the reigning champion Mullet at Nürburgring. They had an absolute fantastic race between them. So we do know that MD Hop has the pedigree for being one of the top drivers on NRL. So expecting big things from him, TK.
Absolutely. I think we all were able to see how quick they are. It's just a matter of getting that perfect lap in, and even with all the practice that everyone's been doing, it is really hard to get that perfect lap around here. There's so many factors in these cars: your fuel load, your tire prep, traffic, touching the sand. We've seen so many drivers just dip a toe in the sand, and it has really affected their lap. So while I think all these drivers are quick, it's really tough to put a complete lap together around here.
Yes, indeed. Well, just to give you some details on MD Hop, if you didn't already know, he's also not part of a team, and way to go, he's using a Thrustmaster TGT, which is the same wheel I use, a fantastic wheel there, and he's also on YouTube at MD Hop 95. So if he is streaming, go and check him out and give him that support, please. But yeah, currently in P8 and in a little bit of danger at the moment. Yes, there is about 8 minutes to go in qualifying, so still plenty of time to churn in them laps. But yeah, at the moment, only a 1 minute 33.0. So we'll see if we can hook it up on this lap. But yeah, a little bit of a surprise for me to see MD Hop down there for the time being. The fastest person on the track, as we kind of predicted at the start of stint 2, is Lisa Salters, who currently holds a 1 minute 29.034. So perhaps Lisa may be the first driver to maybe sneak into the 28s. We will see. But yeah, we are still on board with MD Hop as we go through the final corner of the lap. Surely he can improve on his previous best. Just about, but only by 4.5 tenths there. So moves up into P7 with a 1 minute 32.5. We'll hope that he can improve in the laps to come as we look on board with Salis, who currently holds P9 at the moment. He's 6.3 seconds adrift of Lisa with fastest lap time of a 1 minute 35.3. So we'll be hoping to pick up his pace in the final 6 minutes of this qualifying session, Tati.
One here is going to want to, I would love to see MD Hop use more of the track. I think that would help out. You know, this car doesn't really have the grunt to just muscle out of things. You've got to keep your momentum, and the way you do that is you use every last inch of track available to you. Not like that. That's more of the track than what is available to you. Salis just missed the apex in turn 5 there. I just wanted to say really quick, I confirmed in the chat that Lisa Salters is a he. So
right, okay.
I think we've called them 3 different genders in this 3. We've been like he, she, they. It is a he. And apparently they are quick as heck. I think they're going to hit that 28.
My apologies.
It's looking like it. And Lisa is in the pits, going to get fresh tires like we saw before. Around that, between laps 5 and 7, drivers coming in to get fresh rubber and try to get 1 or 2 more hot laps, as the top 3 drivers all went into the pits and are now coming out.
Okay, well, We're on board with Lead Pencil at the moment, who's got Salis for company just in front. He will pick up a little bit of slipstream. Not sure if that's going to help him or not, but he comes across the line with a 1 minute 31.2. Doesn't improve on his previous best there. Remains in P5. Yeah, it does look like quite a few of the drivers have gone into the pits to get new tyres and go for that last stint. So we do ride on board with the Kai, somebody that I know very, very well in my Twitch community. Currently finds himself in P2, and he is 3.5 tenths adrift of Lisa Salters with a 1 minute 29.35. So, sorry, 0.36 actually. So we'll see if Kai can churn out a faster lap time, but certainly looking comfortable in qualifying for Division A for this season. Although we do still have Split 3 to come, so maybe they will have something to say about that. But just to give you some details on the Kai then, he is part of the team Bib and Dribble, a team that I know very, very well. And the wheel that he's using is a Logitech G29, and if you do want to check him out, guys, he is on YouTube at KD the Kai. But yes, as we know with KD the Kai, very, very fast driver. He's not going to quite do it on this lap, as he is 3.5 tenths down on his previous best. But we've still got 3 minutes remaining of this qualifying session, so potentially 2 more fast laps that Kai can put into this qualifying session. So we'll see if he can pit Lisa to that pole position.
It's going to be tough. If you look at his fuel load, pretty full on fuel compared to Lisa and Baku, who have already used up 1/4 of a tank. And with these cars, they don't have a lot of power, so the lighter they are, the quicker they're going to be. So I think it is going to be very challenging for the Kai to get a quicker time if Lisa and Baku are both able to put in fast times in these remaining laps.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Yeah, on board with Felmore at the moment, currently P4, another one of them drivers I don't really recognise, and I'm pretty sure are making their debut in the NRL series. So they are actually not assigned to any racing team, so sign them up. The Vanitech DD Pro he's using as his wheel equipment, and he's also on YouTube at Felmora, so go and check them out if you want to get their driver perspective.
Baku just set a quicker time up into P2. So there's that fuel load coming into play against Baku and the Kai.
That's very, very interesting. Yes, I didn't see what time Baku actually set there, but
it
yes,
was a 29.386. So still over 3 tenths behind Lisa, and just 0.007 faster than the Kai.
Wow. So yeah, sandwiched between Lisa and Kai for that P2 spot. But we are currently riding on board with another driver I don't recognise in Russell. He is also not assigned to any racing team out there. He is using the Thrustmaster T300 RS wheel, and he is also on YouTube at Roswell_A51. Currently P7 with the fastest lap time of a 1 minute 31.750. So we'll see whether or not that will qualify him into one of the divisions for this season's Saturday races. It does look like Lisa Salters is done in qualifying, who's just gone into the pit lane and currently holds the fastest lap time of the session.
We just had a spin going into turn 10 while up by 0.5 tenth, which would have been just enough to get him into the 28th.
Man.
Sad day.
Wow.
So close. Okay. And Baku was able to improve their time as well to a 129.263, and is currently purple going through the first sector. they have a chance to take the lead in P2 at the moment.
Okay, interesting. And this is why we've got Tassie and T-Case on the case. Pardon the pun there.
Haven't heard that before.
Because they have got the perspectives being in the lobby to view the other drivers whilst we concentrate on some of the other drivers on the grid.
No.
So thank you for the update.
Traffic. Oh no. Traffic.
Slow them up, and now they're down. They're down on their personal best. Not gonna happen, unfortunately, for Baku.
No, but should be safe to qualify into Division A. But I do know the minds of the drivers. They all want to be the fastest driver, don't they? So yeah, he will be a little bit annoyed by that, I think, as Phil Mora comes across the line as well in P4. So yes, a lot of the drivers have just set their final lap times. Is there any other drivers coming across the checkered line now? It's Racecraft. Racecraft will get P6 then. 1 minute 31.1 was his fastest lap time. I think we've got one more driver coming across the line.
Rosal just crossed the line but wasn't able to improve.
Right, okay. So that is qualifying done in Split 2 then. We will confirm the classified qualifying results as soon as this lobby ends. Yeah, your thoughts, guys, on qualifying in Split 2, T-Case?
This one was a bit more spread out. I mean, it was tight between P1 and P3, under 4/10. And then after that, there's a big gap, over a second between P3 and P4, and then it kind of tightens up again and then spreads out. So this one was a little more mixed. We had 3 drivers who were able to really put in some quick times, and then a couple kind of in that 130-ish range, and then it really spreads out. So it'll be interesting to see how all these times stack up with the other splits.
And what are your thoughts, Tati, as well? Bit of a mixed bag?
Way more spread out in this particular split. I'm noticing, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm showing the Kai with only 4 laps altogether. So I don't know if they just got out of the pits late there, but maybe they could have been quicker. I guess that would explain why they had so much more fuel in comparison to everyone else.
They had to reset, so they paused and went back to the pits, which reset everything.
Got it. To get back to get P3 with all of that is still fantastic. But yeah, we saw some pretty quick ones. Some should nudge folks from that first split over. Definitely Lisa. I think Boku got in there as well, a little bit faster than some of the first split folks. But that's us set for Saturday racing, yeah?
No, there'll be one more split to come after a short break. Yeah, getting ahead of yourself there, but no. But yeah, just to give you the classified results from Split 2 then. We have Lisa Salters grabbing pole position with that 1 minute 29.034. Then Boku gets P2 with a 1 minute 29.263. Then we got the Brit in the Kai who gets P3 with his 1 minute 29.393. Felmora grabs P4 with a 1 minute 30.655. P5 goes to Lead Pencil, who is in the PHG racing team with that 1 minute 31.018. P6 goes to Racecraft 01 with a 1 minute 31.130. P7 goes to Rosal with a 1 minute 31.750. P8 goes to Salis with a 1 minute 35.379. I do believe we had a ninth driver who got disconnected, and that is MD Hop. Big surprise there, guys, with a 1 minute 32.110. In fact, I think he'll be P8, I do believe. But
right before Salis with that time.
Yes. So I'm not 100% sure. the regulations of a disconnect, but could be in serious trouble to try and qualify for the league stage of the championship. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, it was definitely a big mixed bag in qualifying there, and it was good to see some very fast drivers on show there. And the heats are definitely starting to heat up now in the Saturday races or qualifying. So yeah, what are your thoughts, T-Case, going into the last split of the day?
Well, going into the last split, I'm curious how many drivers we're going to see in the 130s, because that seemed to be all we saw yesterday. Was, between a 130.0 all the way to a 130.9. We saw so many of that. And then in this split, we only saw one driver in the 130s. We had several in the 131s, and then we had those 3 in the 129s. So I'm curious where they're going to fill in, because it was so tight yesterday. Are we going to see that, or are we going to get a huge spread like we just saw?
Yeah, well, just continuing on from your point there, TKs. Yeah, it does seem like we have more drivers in the sort of 29s and a few in the 30s. Tassie, do you think it will be as close as what Friday was in terms of the qualifying between Division A and B?
Maybe so. Maybe not in that split in particular, but there's a lot of space to fill in between Lead Pencil's 130.655 and Racecraft's 131 flat. So lots and lots of tenths there for other drivers to filter in. It's hard to say right now. I think we're gonna have to watch that third split to see where it's gonna be.
And I will say I am excited about this third split. I believe it's the split with the most PHG members. And being a part of Papa's House of Games myself, it is so exciting to see all these drivers out there putting in the work. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one has to show.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we're going to have to wait and find out. Split 3 will be upon us very shortly, but we will go for a short break now. So again, go and relax, grab yourself a snack, a drink, or whatever you need to do. We'll be back with split 3 very shortly. So back soon. Welcome back, everyone, and hopefully you are all fueled up and ready, because with 2 splits down, we have got 1 to go, and hopefully we'll be going off with a bang. So with the awaiting drivers that have seen how fast the first 2 splits were, they know they've got it all to do. So hopefully they are fully prepared and ready to go. We're just awaiting the final preparations for that, and then we'll be good to go. But just a little thought on what to expect for split 3, TKs.
Great question. We got a big mix of drivers. If you look here, I mean, some of these people are using alternate accounts, but I don't see any A's in the DRs. I see some C's, I see some E's, and a lot of B's. So curious to see how that plays out. The driver rating isn't always indicative of their skills and abilities, and I know everybody's been doing a lot of practice. So curious to see how these times stack up, where we had in the previous lobby some A and A+ drivers.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. And I know, Tessie, you can't predict the future, but I need to ask, do you think we're going to see a 28 in split 3?
You know, I'm not sure. And the reason I say that is because for every other split, we have heard like chatter in the chat about like, oh, so-and-so is really super quick. Haven't heard that about anyone here. That said, they're all from alternate accounts. We've obviously had at least one person who wasn't carrying the name that we've known them by in the past. So it's anyone's guess. I hope so. Be nice.
It would be nice indeed. It would be nice indeed. Well, I suppose we're going to find out very shortly, because we are now going to tell you about split 3 with the same details. Of course, we are back at Laguna Seca in sunny California. Track length is 2.2 miles with a total amount of turns is 11, and 15 minutes of qualifying around here in the Mazda touring cars. This car provides 205 brake horsepower going to its rear wheels. It's a lightweight design, very tricky for the drivers to navigate, as we already know. And they will be using the racing soft tires, so that should help them out a little bit. But as we know that this is the qualifying round, so no points will be allocated for this round. And as we know, the top 14 drivers will qualify for Division A. The next 14 will be going into Division B. Anyone beyond that will be eliminated after today. So the driver lineup is Bandit 1 with RTS Bandit, not to confuse us there, with PHG Horn of Plenty. We've got Island Grown 777, PHG Jazam, PHG Caper, M Hop 567. We've got Jezza, PHG Captain Thunder, Spawn, and BHR Johnny Boy.
Small split, just like last time.
Yes. And also you can follow them on their social media handles, whether it's YouTube or Twitch. Many of them, I think, will be streaming. So if you do want to see their perspectives, then go and check them out and hit that follow button.
Loving all these PHG drivers I'm seeing here. Been racing with them for a while now. A lot of them hop into my streams, I hop into theirs, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, I do believe there was 18 PHG drivers signed up. Is that correct, TKs?
Yes, that is correct. Not all of them were able to participate that had originally signed up. I think 1 or 2 had to miss their qualifying sessions. But the PHG community is growing. NRL has definitely been a platform for them to grow their team. If you're looking for a team Their slogan is great racers, better people. Really good group. Check them out if you're looking for a team or a community to be a part of.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that definitely growing in stature. That is for sure, PHG, and it's good to see a huge representative of such a racing team in NRL. Quick question to you, Tati. So, of course, you are part of Sector 7 Racing. What are your thoughts on their performance so far?
Well, 2 official Sector 7 racers are in the top 5 for Friday's qualifying. Wid, I don't know if Wid is officially signed up on the team, but he's in the Discord. It's like half the battle. He spends time with us. He does a lot in the background, and so far he's had the fastest time of anyone who was qualified on either day. So I'm feeling pretty proud about Sector 7. I'm feeling very optimistic about how our team's going to do during the season for sure. That said, I mean, so many different combos that are possible. It can catch anyone out. I will say, though, that Sector 7 and Ando especially, they are huge on practicing and sharing strategy and teaching each other. So they'll spend a lot of time just getting ready for these races.
Yes, indeed. And, I could probably quietly whisper and say... But the drivers are just out on their outlaps now to start split 3 of the Saturday sessions. And as we go on board with PHG Caper, of course, part of Team Papa House of Game. He's using a Fanatec DD Pro wheel. And, interestingly, that is Shaunsey.
Yes.
Okay. So
previous participant.
Yes, indeed he was. He was king of strategy, if I remember correctly. So it's good to see that he's changed his name, because I do remember his original name was pretty difficult to pronounce. So
Shaunsey spelled backwards. Try that one.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. So it's good to see that he's recognised that, and certainly a name that I can actually call out easily on a regular basis. Riding on board with him now, where we are basically halfway through the lap here at Laguna Seca, as he navigates turn 7. No, it's turn 6, isn't it? To avoid the sausage on the left-hand side as we come up to the corkscrew for turn 7 and 8. And beautifully done there. Hopefully he doesn't catch up with Bandit, who is just in front of him. And hopefully that doesn't ruin the pace on this current lap, as Bandit goes a little bit wide out of the penultimate corner. As we come up to the final corner of the lap, we'll see what sort of lap time he can produce. We know that Bandit has already made a mistake just in front of him. So Caper will come across the line with a 1:30.762, with Bandit on a 1:33.0. Spawn goes up into P2. The British driver 1:31.1, with Jazam going into P2 with a 1:30.8. So good early pace from the drivers. There are a few other drivers coming across the line now. We've got Captain Thunder with a 32.7, Horn of Plenty with a 1:31.7.
One thing I was noticing here is that I didn't see in the other splits was as all these drivers, watching all these drivers cross the line, and they were staying to the right-hand side to get to the line, which is the shortest distance from the final turn to the start-finish line. And in the previous splits, I was seeing drivers going ahead and coming across, which does add just a fraction of a second there onto your time by not staying all the way to the right-hand side. So good strategy. You can see these guys have been practicing to figure out how to get through this track as quick as possible.
Yeah, indeed. It could be Well, it could be quite costly if you don't maximise every inch of the circuit. So we'll see how that plays out in terms of the times combined for today. But yes, we are riding aboard with PHG Jazam or Juzam.
Shazam! That's how I say it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's got an exclamation point and everything. You kind of have to say it with some gusto.
Some vigor, yes.
That's how you pronounce it.
Well, I do believe that this PhD driver is new to the series. If you do want to go and check him out, he is on YouTube at Jazam, because there's no exclamation mark on this one. With Jazam 371. He is using a Logitech G923, and of course he is part of the Papa's House of Game racing team. Currently P2 with a 1 minute 30.340. Yeah.
Zam's wheel isn't working and he's on controller. His inputs are very controller-like. If you watch his steering inputs and even the attitude of the car, it looks like he's racing on a controller, just trying to keep that joystick steady.
Interesting.
But maybe it's a lag thing or something weird happening, but it looks like...
Spawn getting the traffic.
Yeah, big traffic there.
Oh, get out of the way, Bandit.
Oh,
Bandit as well. Big contact, in fact.
Someone's run into Bandit.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh.
Yes, Spawn unluckily losing out there, who spins out and luckily doesn't pick up damage there, but that certainly did ruin his lap time there. So let's have a look at the replay. Oh no, we just caught the...
Yeah, Bandit's way off into the gravel, building sandcastles over there.
There could be a steward's inquiry at the end of this race, so hopefully Bandit not in trouble there, but a little bit unfortunate there for Spawn, of course fellow Brit driver, and looking to improve on his season 3 performance, who I do believe just missed out on the Division A final. So unfortunate. But we do have 8 minutes left of qualifying, so lots of time to go for another stint and hope that he can progress up the grid order.
Island Grown just puts in a time 5/10 quicker than Caper with a 131 or a 130.252.
Wow.
Nice.
Caper had a bad 4th lap. Looks like they might have pitted, actually. It took fresh tires, so they didn't quite get into that fastest zone. I think a 3rd flyer, like you saw Island Grown take, is actually faster than pitting so early.
Yeah, it seems the tire wear, they get up to temperature, you get less fuel. And so, right there around that lap 3, lap 4 range, you can really put in a quick lap.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, just confirmed there. Sets the fastest lap of this split with a 1 minute 30.252. He's not going to go quicker on this lap, as you just saw him running wide into the gravel trap there. So we'll need to pick up the pace again and hope they can go quicker on the remaining laps. But a little bit of information on Island Grown 777. He's actually a free agent, so go and snap him up if you would like his driver services. And he's using a Logitech G29 wheel. And if you do want to see him on YouTube, it is at Island Grown 777 as he comes into the pits, I would imagine for the very last time, to change new boots and go for one final stint. So we're on board with Captain Thunder, of course part of the Papa House of Game team, and he does improve on his previous best by half a second to a 1 minute 32.2, puts him up in actually he remains in P7 as he catches the sausage on the entry to turn number 2, and that would have cost him a valuable time on this current lap. It does look like Island Grown is in the pit for a fair amount of time. Is he quietly confident about his lap? I mean,
he's coming out right now. He's about to start his out lap.
Thank you, TKs. There we go. Yeah, confirmed there. I thought it was a little bit early from Island Grove.
We did see that last night with PHG Shaggy Do. He got his lap in. He got into the 29s and he called it quits.
Yes, he did.
These drivers are confident that they know the time they need to hit based on the practice that they've been seeing, but it's always a gamble.
Yes, indeed.
No.
Yeah. That confidence vital for a race driver, that is for certain. We are on board with M Hop, who is on his out lap, so he will get another, I do believe, 3 laps to put in to improve on his previous best times, because he currently finds himself in P9, so he's got a lot of work to do from that grid position. 4.3 seconds down on the fastest time set by Island Grown with that 1 minute 30.2. But M Hop is a free agent. He's using a Thrustmaster T80. Okay.
T8, wow.
Yeah, T80, I do believe, is the wheel that doesn't have false feedback.
That is correct.
Yeah, so that's got to be one of the first drivers I've seen actually using that wheel. Quite old technology. So, clearly works for him, but yeah, certainly right now he's got just under 4 minutes to try and improve his grid positioning. So we'll see how he goes. Oh, it's Spawn! Oh my God! And Spawn again getting very, very unlucky as gets caught up in traffic, and it does look like Spawn may have lost a fair chunk of time from his lap there. He's currently in P3, but certainly in the wars in split 3. Yeah, that is kind of the situation you want to try and avoid when you go into the corkscrew. There is, you don't want to be going too wide through there, that is for certain. Could have ended up a lot worse, but yeah, did lose out on that time by about 9/10 of a second. So does remain in P3, but his current fastest is a 1 minute 30.799. So we'll see in the final 3 minutes of this qualifying session whether or not he can improve on such a feat and try and get himself in and around the Division A times, because as we know through Friday, the cutoff point was around the 1 minute 30.4 range. It'll be interesting to see whether that will be good enough to get into Division A. But yeah, he's currently about 4/10 off of that goal, so we'll see what he can do there. As we see Island Grown into the pits then, clearly satisfied with his 1 minute 30.2, and may well have qualified into that Division A split, but we'll see in due course, of course.
It's looking like PHG Caper improved their time a little bit, but Spawn is also quicker, so let's see here as they finish their lap if the little bit of distance that Caper put on them is going to help.
Yeah, and on board with Spawn as well, because he's just coming around the final corner now, half a second off the fastest time. It did look like he went faster through Sector 2, and yes, he goes faster into P2 with that 1 minute 30.511. So congratulations to Spawn there. He may be able to go a little bit quicker in the final embers of qualify. But yes, we ride on board with PHG Caper, or Shaunzy now, as we know. Currently holds P3 for the time being. He is wide.
That's that.
Yes, he is wide, and that will end qualifying for him with that 1 minute 30.6. So we'll see if that is good enough for him to get into the Division A split. But yes, we ride on board with his fellow team member in Shazam. And
very nice.
It's so easy to get overconfident into that turn 6. Like, you want so badly to just carry all the speed you can, but the outside of that turn comes up real quick, and it's just sand that'll just suck you in. He's lucky he didn't spin. But it's so easy to just like kind of I just want to flick it, and you get flicked when you flick it.
Very much, because you want to be hitting that incline at 100 miles an hour, and so you got to carry as much speed as possible, and in doing so, you just kind of push yourself wide.
Yep, man.
Well, luckily for Jazam, he just about came across the line before the countdown finished, so he'll be able to get one more lap time in. So we'll see if he can improve on his time. Jezza definitely won't be improving because he's got a 5-second penalty there, so will remain in P5 for the time being. Caper, however, yes, P3 for him. He is fourth. Yeah, one more chance for him. Fastest time is a 1:30.663. So we'll see if he can improve by a few tenths or not as he approaches the corkscrew for the final time. Takes it beautifully, and he is just under 2 tenths up through sector 2, so he is looking good. I don't want to jinx him, but he is looking better to perhaps pip P2 away from Spawn. We will await and see as he goes through the final turn at Laguna Seca, and as he approaches the checkered line, he's gonna do it. 1:30.0 and in the pole position.
Wow. And I'm not improving.
Saving the best to last, I have to say.
That was beautiful.
And here I was thinking you had too much of a lift in the turn 9. Shows what I know.
He was able to carry that speed. That was impressive. I think the fuel level that they had allowed them to get away with that and get a little more speed, because they were very, very low on fuel compared to some of the other drivers.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that little bit less fuel can make the difference, and it certainly made the difference to Caper, who brought home that 1:30.092, which demoted Island Grown into P2 and Spawn into P3. But of course, the battle is not really for this lobby. It's more the battle between the 3 splits. So we'll see how they get on and how they compare towards each other towards the end of the broadcast. But yeah, congratulations to Caper though for that last ditch effort, and yeah, absolutely fantastic to see there, Tati.
Especially because I think that was like their 5th or 6th flyer after their last pit stop. So, certainly outside of the optimal window that we knew of, but apparently there's another lap that you can get optimal time on. And yeah, that 1:30 flat, wins him the split, but doesn't put him at the top of the Saturday standings. But puts him close.
Yes, it does indeed. Yeah, this is the time of the broadcast where we don't quite know what's going on until the people in the background work out all the times and the grid orders between the 3 splits. But one thing we can tell you is the results from split 3. So as confirmed, congratulations to Caper with that pole position time at the end there with that 1:30.092, who finished just over 1.5 tenths quicker than Island Grown, who grabbed P2 with that 1:30.252. Then Spawn, the fellow British driver, grabs P3 with a 1:30.511. P4 goes to Jazam with a 1:30.836. P5 goes to Jezza with a 1:31.288. P6 goes to Captain Thunder of the PHG team with that 1:31.312, which was just 2/100th of a second off of Jezza's time there. P7 goes to Horn of Plenty, also part of the Papa's House of Game team with a 1:31.484. P8 goes to M-Hop with a 1:34.0. And we do have a P9. Yes, of course, it was RTS Bandit. In fact, again, did he disconnect at the end there because I think he's got a faster time than P8 with a 1:33.010. I think so, yes. So maybe roles reversed. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see whether or not that is good enough to qualify for Division B. It's not looking likely, if I'm being honest with you, though.
No, I think they knew that it was over for them, so they went ahead and bowed out.
Yeah, right. Okay. So, so it's going to be interesting to see where these drivers stack up because although still very quick, perhaps the pace not as fast as the two splits before it. So it's going to be interesting to see which drivers qualify for Division A and which ones will be in Division B. What are your thoughts, Tessie?
I mean, they put on a show for us, quite frankly. We're just waiting on the mass to be done, obviously, so that we know for sure what's going on. I'm very excited to see how it'll all shake out. I think we did fill in some of those 130 point something slots, yes? Four 130s rather in this split. So I think we kind of have a picture of how it's going to go, but I'm gonna wait till the tally's done.
Yes, indeed. And it's good to see in chat as well quite a number of people welcoming you into the NRL, Tati. She's a valuable entry to our team at NRL, who's done an absolute fantastic job for us and made it feel like as if she's been here for many a season. So great job on commentary. And of course TK's as well, who always does a great job for us as well. So in terms of the grid orders, then obviously the people in the background are going to be working rigorously to try to decide the grid order for Division A and B respectively. So we're going to be taking a short intermission. And this is your time in chat to relax and grab yourself a beverage or a bit of food, and we'll be back very shortly. Right, welcome back, everyone. And yeah, all the results are tabulated now. And before we get into that, got a shout out Arrow GT7 with the $10 donation. He says that this league makes me happy. Thanks, McNulty. Well, we appreciate you, Arrow. Thank you so much for the kind gesture and the donation. It is much, much appreciated. So, yeah, this is the time that everyone has been waiting for to see where they qualify after the qualifying stints that they've performed to the highest level tonight. So, without further ado, let's look at the top 14. So, top 14 qualifying for Division A then. Okay, so slight graphic mess up on show here, but what I can show you is the fastest time went to MMR Moose 21 with a 1 minute 29.016. P2 went to Lisa Salters 420 with a 1 minute 29.034. So close. P3 went to Boku with a 1 minute 29.263. P4 went to Super Uber of the Moose Mafia Racing Team with a 1 minute 29.314. Then P5 went to the Kai, part of the Bib and Dribble League team, 1 minute 29.393 for him. P6 went to Banana of the Papa House of Game team, 1 minute 29.485. Then P7 went to Sneaky of the GLK Hawko Racing Academy team, 1 minute 29.500. P8 went to Caper of the PHG team, 1 minute 30.092. P9 went to SPC, also part of the PHG contingency there, with a 1 minute 30.111. Then P10 went to Island Grown with a 1 minute 30.252. P11 went to Spawn with a 1 minute 30.511. P12 went to Arrow US with a 1 minute 30.550. P13 went to Felmora with a 1 minute 30.655. And the last remaining one, who's it going to be? It is Jazam.
Shazam!
Yes, indeed. Of course, part of the Papa House of Game. I know it says P15, but no, he gets the final grid slot for the Division A. Congratulations to him with that 1 minute 30.836. And I can see that it's very, very close between all the drivers. So if you can take it away, Tatty, please, for Division B.
B, we'll start with P15. That says P16 here. Like we said, we have a graphics issue. But P15 is Cyrus Nikki with a 130.8. P16, PHG Lead Pencil with a 131.018. Next is Racecraft 01 with a 131.130. P18 is Jezer, the 131.288. Captain Thunder of PHG comes in with a 131.312. P20 is Horn of Plenty with a 131.484. And P21, Parquet with a 131.487. Next is Sweet Lucanus with a 131.551. Followed by Angry Fredbird with a 131.724, and P24, P Rosal with a 131.750, MD Hop in P25 with a 132.110, RTS Bandit with a 133.010 in P26, and finally in P27, MD Hop with a 134.076. Oh, my bad, you're right, P29. P27 is M Hop. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you're correct there.
Got it. Okay, with a 134.076, and P28 is Salis with a 135.379. Everyone else did not start. So that's our Division A and B, guys.
Wow.
Thank you, Tati. Yeah, that was rather intense reading through the standings there. So congratulations to the drivers that made it through to Division A and B respectively. TKs, what are your thoughts on the driver lineup for Saturdays in this season's NRL?
Well, you know, when we were looking at it all spread out between each split and talking about it during the break, we were talking about how spread out it was. And then you see it like that, and it's not spread out at all. We had so many drivers in the 129s for Division A. So it's looking like Division A on Saturday is real quick, at least based on these qualifying times. We didn't see as many drivers in the 130s. It seemed like Division B was more dominated in the 131s. So that's interesting. There's a big difference there between Division A on Friday and Saturday and Division B on Friday and Saturday, where Division A on Saturday looked to be a bit quicker. Nobody got into the 128s, but the overall time seemed to be a bit quicker with several drivers in the 129s. And then you got Division B on Friday looking to be a bit quicker than Division B on Saturday. So it looks like we got a good mix, a lot tighter. I'm excited to see how everybody does in a race versus qualifying. So can't wait to see what next week has in store for us.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, Tassie, what are your thoughts as well, looking at that?
It is. However, I agree with TK. Seeing the races will be completely different, especially given that we'll have such disparate combos and setups. I'm so sorry. My cat is having a moment. Heard that in the background there. But yeah, I'm very excited to see how everyone races with one another. I think these qualifying times are great for placing folks, but it doesn't translate into racing, especially when the races will be so different from what the qualifier was.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, in in Naughty Racing League, we do get a whole host of different cars, different circuits. Naughty definitely likes to mix it up, so the drivers will need to be consistent, really, throughout all the different car classes, road cars, etc. So it's going to be interesting to see. And just a quick note as well, of course, we had a few drivers missing in tonight's qualifying, the same with Friday as well. So if they were affected by the storms, they may do qualifying separately in the coming days. So the order of the drivers from Division A and B could change. So just please bear that in mind. But now it is time to find out what the drivers will be doing next week for Division A and B.
So, let's go.
First up, it is Division B. And they're going to be in Japan for the high-speed ring reverse, 26 laps. They're going to be driving the Bugatti VGT Group 1 cars. And, oh, God, this is really exciting to see. There's going to be a qualifying of 10 minutes before the 26-lap race. There'll be a rolling start with BOP turned on. Brake balance is allowed for this one. Mechanical damage is set to heavy. The tyre wear is at ×3 with a fuel consumption rate of ×3 as well. But interestingly, the tyres available is going to be the racing softs, the intermediates, and the wet tyres, because as we know, it does tend to rain here in Japan at the high-speed ring. So they could also come into play, TKs.
Wow. You got a Group 1 Bugatti, the high-speed ring, and the chance of rain. Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. High-speed ring is in reverse is pretty evil. High-speed ring reverse in the rain is downright diabolical. However, yay for mid-engine traction. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, the Group 1's very, very fast cars, but should it rain, then yeah, things could get very, very tricky, and I'm sure all the drivers in Division B will be fully prepared and be probably setting up a lobby now and practicing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
With heavy damage turned on, this is a track that you can come into the contact with the walls pretty easily. Some of the lines that you want to take, oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll see people pitting. Yeah, we'll see people pitting for damage for sure.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, strategies could go out of the window should anyone clip a wall and get damage to their cars. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Do find out and come in next week to see how the Division B drivers get on. But we also do need to check out and see what the Division A will be faced with, because as I can see there, it is Trial Mountain Reverse, and they're going to be driving the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 2015 car, which is an extremely tricky car to use. It's going to be 14 laps around Trial Mountain Reverse with a grid start with false start check enabled. BOP is turned on with brake balance allowed. Mechanical damage also set to heavy, and tire wear rate will be ×2 with a fuel consumption rate of ×5. And interestingly, only racing soft tires available. What are your thoughts, Tassie?
It's a great car for this track. Excellent on the brakes. Granted, it's not an advantage when everyone else has those same brakes, but it will come down to who wants to trust them. I once had the displeasure of driving this car for an entire season back when it was very oversteery on the braking. You could not brake without throttle. I think they have fixed a lot of that in this car, so it's actually pretty pleasant to drive these days from what I recall.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, TKs, what are your thoughts?
I think, again, with the heavy damage, this is another track that the walls are ever present. And really easy. There's that S section where you got to hit the apex going over the crest of a hill. It's going to be tricky. A lot of people are going to want to try to make moves go side by side, but a lot of these corners, there's only room for one car. So it'll be interesting to see if people are able to be patient and wait for the proper overtaking spots, or if the issues are going to get forced.
That section is super steep, and so going backwards uphill on it is going to produce a whole lot of understeer. And yeah, there's only room for one car in there. So, oof.
Yes,
No.
I'm glad that I'm in the commentary booth and not one of the drivers that are going to have to take on this legendary circuit in a very tail happy car. But yes, indeed. So round one will start next Friday, hosted by Toon, Slow-Mo and Leo on Friday the 4th of October at 8.
We do it backwards here.
They do it backwards, yeah. I got confused there. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That works out to be 1 a.m. UK time. So please go and check out youtube.com @McNulty for that race. For Division A and B, of course. So really look forward to that. So, yeah, final thoughts then, guys. I mean, Tati, it was quite a frantic qualifying, and it's certainly going to shape up to be an amazing first round in the respective divisions, don't you think?
I think that both rounds or both combos for the first round are going to produce some real scrappy racing, and I love that. That's my favorite thing to commentate on. So looking forward to at least round one. We'll see what the rest of them bring.
Yes, indeed. And TK, you must be very proud of the PHG showing. Many a driver qualifying for the next round, which will be, of course, next week. But what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, super proud of PHG, especially the people that are in my A team there over at Papa House of Games. Super proud of everybody. All that hard work definitely paid off. And great job to all the drivers. I mean, you can tell how hard everybody was working just based off of practice I had done. I mean, I would have just barely made the cut. And you can just see how hard everybody's been working. And as we've seen, you know, we have 3 seasons to go off of. It's only going to get harder. Everybody's going to have to really, really work. And I think we're going to see it. And that's so exciting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing how much improvement we have, you know, based on some of the drivers that finished in the bottom, but still made it through. Where are they going to be at the end of the season? Because I think a lot of them are going to make huge strides.
Well, important fault actually is, so as mentioned earlier, Mullet not able to attend this season, and Hulko, the 2 champions from previous seasons. So there will be a new driver crown champion in the NRL. So I really can't wait to find out how we get on in season 4. But yeah, that is us done for this week, and congratulations to all the drivers that made it through to their respective divisions. We'll be back on the 5th of October for the Saturday heats, but of course Friday hosted by Toon, Leo and Slow-Mo will be up first on the Friday the 4th of October, as we said, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that one. But I've got to say a big thank you to Tati and TK's for providing the awesome commentary and the company for me as well tonight. You've done an absolute awesome job. It's a real pleasure. Yeah, thank you very much, Tati.
Flawed, and of course TK's as well, and a huge thank you to McNaughty for putting all of this together and producing while we talked. It's not an easy job, so thanks to everyone on the team.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I mean, it was fantastic. It's a slightly new crew, and Tati, you fit in really well. Flawed, great to be back with you. It's our 2nd season working together, and really looking forward to the rest of the season working with y'all.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, thank you to my co-commentators. I'll see you next week, and thank you everyone for watching, and those that participated tonight. Well done, and look forward to seeing you soon. But from me, Flawed Genius Gaming, it's a goodbye, it's a good night, and we'll see you next week, guys. So, love for now.